In this demonstration we're going to look at actually modifying a link clone desktop. So currently what I've got, if I just come down here, is I've got a couple of virtual machines already up and running. They're logged into this marketing Windows 7 virtual machine, and what the marketing Windows 7 virtual machine is currently a Windows 7 device. As we can see here, it doesn't have any additional software installed. If I just go for CLB, which is the other virtual desktop that we have in place here, so we're connected through to another marketing Windows 7 desktop. So all we'll do here is we'll send a Control and Delete against this virtual machine. Log in here as well. What we should be able to find is that we don't have any additional software installed here either. Now, one of the problems that we have with link clone desktops is everything tends to come from the replica virtual machine. So what we'll do is we'll just modify these down. We'll just come into our VMware vSphere client. We'll just come down to edit the client settings here, and we'll just show the view composer virtual machines. So what we have here is we have this replica. Now all the reads come from this replica, and what we have is we have two delta disks associated with the virtual machine. So if the individual users installed software into their virtual machines and we did a desktop refresh, rebalance or recompose, that would wipe out the software because it would take the delta files back to their original state. So what we would need to do here to install any additional software and have it rolled out to all of the link clone desktops is we would have to modify the replica, and that's what this demonstration is about. So what I've done here is I've just powered on the parent virtual machine. So we'll just open the console to it. Now this is the one that the actual marketing virtual machines were built from. So what we'll do here is we're just going to log into this virtual machine. And we're just going to log in as our ESX admin. And what we'll be able to see within this virtual machine here is we should be able to see that we don't have any additional software installed, which we don't. So what we're going to do here is we're going to modify the parent virtual machine by installing the Foxit Reader software. Right, so just sitting here in this share, what we have is just modifying my link clone desktops. And within here we've got the Foxit Reader software. So all we'll do here is we'll just actually install this software. So this is now going to install the Foxit Reader software into the parent virtual machine. So we just close this down and just close this down. What we should find is we now have Foxit Reader installed. What we want to do now is roll this software out to our link clone desktops as well. So the next thing to do here is we need to take a snapshot of this virtual machine. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually just going to release the IP address associated with the parent virtual machine, just to ensure that everything is all clean. Now that we've done that, the next thing I want to do here is I'm just going to shut down this virtual machine. And once we shut it down, we need to take a snapshot. Right, so the virtual machine shut down, so we just need to right click, just take a snapshot. So we'll take a snapshot and we'll call this one Foxit installed. Click OK. So that's the virtual machine snapshot now taken. So the next thing I need to do is just come to my View Manager. So into my View Manager software, and on my View Manager software, what we'll do here is just under my pools, I've got my pool marketing. So we'll just click on pool marketing. And what we've got here, if we just click on our little drop down for more commands, we can have a look at the view and untitled desktops within here, or untitled policies as well. So what I want to do though is I actually want to do a recompose of the virtual machine pool. And what we're going to do here is by recomposing, it'll create a new replica. It'll then tie the delta files into the new replica. It doesn't actually, what it does is deletes and recreates. Right, so we'll just double click on the pool. And then in the pool, we'll come to View Composer. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a desktop recomposition. So the recomposition will wipe out the delta files, but what it's going to do here, it's going to create a new replica with the Foxit Reader software installed. it'll then redeploy those 2 virtual machines for those users, and we should find that the users will then have Foxit installed on their virtual machines. Now, this isn't just for installing software, this could be for doing patches, it could also be doing for hotfixes, critical updates, installing new applications, service packing new applications as well. So this way what we're doing is we're doing a single update to the virtual machine parent image that then rolls out to all of the linked clones. So we'll do the recompose now. So parent VM is still the same, so there's no difference there. But what we're going to do here is we're now going to go for the new snapshot and select next. And what we're going to do here is we're going to wait for the users to log off. And then what we'll do here is click next. And we'll click finish. Right, so that's going to do desktop recomposition. So just while I'm waiting for all of this to finish off, I'm just going to come down to CLA. I'm just going to log off this virtual machine. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with my VMware View Client B. And what we'll do here is we'll go to options. And what we'll do here is we'll do disconnect and log off as well. Right, so in both cases now, we've disconnected from the virtual desktops. So we come to our virtual center server. What we should see is at some point that what's going to happen here is we're going to get a new replica created. So what we'll do here is, just while we're waiting for this to occur, I'll just pause the video and return back once it kicks off. Right, we can see now what's happening. It's doing desktop recomposition. So it's reverting all of the Delta files there now. What it's going to do is creating a new replica, so we can see 2 replicas now. So this is creating the new parent virtual machine. So from this parent virtual machine, it's going to create the new read-only operating system disk. It'll then redeploy these 2 Delta virtual machines up at the top here. So what we'll do rather than sit and watch this is we'll just pause the video and return back once the recomposition has occurred. We'll then log into a couple of VMware View clients and just ensure that the changes have been made to those virtual machines. Right, we'll just return back again. What we can see now is we're now reconfiguring these 2 virtual machines. So once this reconfiguration is finished, what we should find is we've got Foxit installed in these 2 virtual machines.